Hi, my name is Brianna. We're just going to start from scratch right now. Um, Last Thursday, I walked out of my job that I had for almost 8 years. Um, I was written up for negative interpersonal relationships with a coworker. Um, Basically, what was going on was I was not getting along too well with one of my coworkers, and the reason being was every day I would show up, and one day all of a sudden she just started doing things to kind of affect my job, and I'm not even sure why it started. I hadn't really talked to her that much, and so I'm not going to use any names. I'm not here to bash the company. I'm just here to let you guys know that you don't have to stay at a toxic workplace. And I truly believe that's where I was working. There would be other people to agree with that too. Um, but basically, I would show up for work. Um, for instance, and again, I'm going to try and not bash anyone. I'm not going to drag the company through the mud. I'm not going to. Um, I would have to ship out a certain amount of product for the company that I worked for. And in the department I worked for, I would receive that product from receiving once it would get delivered to our business. This girl, for some reason, one day decided to dump all the product that I needed in her department, and then I had to go and pick out what I needed, separate the numbers, and bring it over to my area. Now, I had been there for almost 8 years, and I can tell you the receivers before her just would bring the product into my area and never ever dumped it in their area, which is the receiving. Um, they would just bring it over, and that was the typical procedure. But one day she just dumped it in a pile, numbers not sorted, and said, "Your product's over here." And this is when I started to ask my boss, like, "Hey, does she have a problem with me? What is going on?" He said he would talk to her, but I'm not even actually sure if those talks actually happened because her behavior just continued towards me. And then it started to be, I would be in these aisles because I worked in a warehouse. So I was in these aisles, and I would be picking product, and she would come up and, "Can I get here?" And there was one instance where I was cutting a cardboard box down and I was fumbling with it. And in the middle of that, she just came up and was like, "Can I get here?" And I'm like, "Can you wait a second?" And after that, it was just so many times she kept doing that to me. And um, I finally one day I said, "No, I'm not moving." I go, "Everyone else is patient. They don't make other people get out of their way. They just wait." And I kid you not, it would be like 2 or 3 seconds she would have had to wait, and I would have been out of her way. But she insisted on doing this. "Can I get here? Can I get here? Can I get here?" And I would have to move out of her way, or it would, you know, she would be upset with me. Um, and then it would just escalate from there. And so finally Thursday, I stood up for myself. I said, "No, I'm not moving." Um, and then I was written up for picking on her. Um, to me, it just didn't make any sense in my head. I was already suffering enough mentally working there because of having a boss that didn't really believe women were smart. Just never would hold people accountable for their actions. And I just couldn't do it mentally anymore. I was coming home, I was depressed all the time, not really functioning. And um, I just couldn't do it. And yes, I am risking it all right now, but I'm going to do what I can to remedy the situation. I'm not a bad worker. I just I didn't understand how somebody could get by with doing this to somebody, and then I get reprimanded for it. So I guess my whole point in making these videos is to share with you guys that if you full on believe that you are being picked on at work, please start documenting it, keep track of it, escalate it with the owners the if your immediate boss is not taking care of it. If they don't do anything about it, then I suggest, doing the right thing, leaving a 2-week notice and leaving. There are workplaces out there that are going to genuinely appreciate you, appreciate your honesty. Um, and for the record, before this, I had no behavioral issues ever. I've never been written up. I'm 38 and I've never been written up. So it just was really hard to swallow. So and it's not an ego thing. It's not. It's hard to explain. Again, don't don't stay in a toxic workplace. If you have responsibilities, in which I do, and I know I'm risking it, put a 2-week notice in and get out of there. It's not worth your mental health anymore. It really isn't. I've had several interviews set up for this week, so promising leads. I've done actually some door dashing. I have to have a minor repair done on my car, and then I'll be door dashing until I can get something. And yes, you can make money door dashing. I literally delivered 4 coffee drinks and like 3 sandwich bagels yesterday to one person. And in under an hour, I made $25 just off of that one delivery. So, after my vehicle's fixed, I'm going to be doing that until I can get out there and get a full time with a non toxic workplace. So, if you are going through something, please feel free to message me and, you know, vent if you need to, but don't stay in a toxic workplace. There are people that will appreciate you.